Okay, we're going to start with the nation. Since Dangote has taken half of the papers, we have to look inside for stories. So, green bond oversubscribed by 91.4 billion naira. Governors lift food distribution hurdles across states. Natasha's trial for defamation against Akpabio Bello begins September 23rd. Over 250,000 Nigerians are refugees in Libya, Cameroon, others. Hashtag NSAS protests. Kano incitement led to killing of 33 security agents, says DSS. And governors agreed to curb food and livestock distribution hurdles. Okay, which story are we starting with in Nation?
Okay, so suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Apoti-Uduaghan was yesterday at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. She was docked for allegedly defaming the Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello. She was put on trial by the Office of the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation on 3 counts criminal charges, bordering on harmful imputations. The embattled senator was accompanied to the court for trial by her husband, Emmanuel her associates, sympathizers, was actually watched on TV. There were a lot of people that came out to support her, and most especially the former educational minister, Obi Ezekwesili. The charge was read. She pled that she was not guilty, and in view of her plea, the prosecuting lawyer had said that they should remand her in prison until the determination of the suit, but her own lawyer said no. So she was granted bail, 50 million.
Right.
Yes, and the shorty should have a property within the jurisdiction of the court. So the trial commences September 23rd. And let's see how that goes, because yes, because 3 of the counts is that one, defamation of the character of Godswill Akpabio, second one, Yahaya Bello, and also in line with the accusation that Godswill Akpabio had something to do with the death of somebody of a nearby. Yeah.
Okay, so the terrorism trial of Nnamdi Kanu is still ongoing at the Federal High Court in Abuja, and there was a prosecution witness who was saying that no fewer than 233 security agents were killed during the hashtag NSAS protest that followed the incitement of Nnamdi Kanu. The witness, who was an operative of the DSS, added that at least 164 police stations and 9 INEC offices were destroyed across the country, allegedly due to Kanu's inciting comments. Also, speaking at the trial, he added that it was mandated to lead a team comprising of Nigerian police force and DSS, including photographers and other investigators, to gather records of criminality that occurred between 2020 and 2021 during the hashtag NSAS protest. I mean, we all know the trial is ongoing and we'll see how it goes, but it's important to follow the trial and ensure that all the various witnesses on both sides are given a chance to share what they saw and witness.
Absolutely. So I have the story on refugees. Right now, Nigeria has over 250,000 refugees in Libya, South Sudan, Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and other parts of the world. Conversely, we have at least 135 refugees who live in Nigeria. Now, out of the 250,000 Nigerian refugees, 125,000 are residents in Cameroon. Now, the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons gave the figures yesterday after a road walk in Abuja to commemorate 2025 World Refugee Day. The Federal Commissioner of the Commission, Tijani Ahmed, who revealed that the federal government has now set up a committee to look into a United States that might lead to the deportation of some Nigerians, said we have a lot of Nigerians who are refugees in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. And so he has pledged that even the president has been supporting and is willing to offer more support to the commission to assist migrants, refugees, and IDPs as well. So this is an ongoing issue that we've been battling with for the longest, and it's always very painful when most of these refugees are women and children. Not to say that the men don't matter, but we're hoping that they can continue to scale up the efforts in a bid to really rescue some of these refugees.
Okay, what I have here, tanker explosion responsible for more than 1,500 deaths. And the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has called for precautionary measures to prevent tanker explosion and fire disaster in the country. The agency also revealed that the tanker explosion alone has accounted for over 1,500 deaths, while many other fatalities has been linked to various fire disasters across Nigeria. NEMA Director and Deputy Director Zakari Abubakar, while speaking in Lokoja at a one-day public awareness program on tanker explosion and fire disaster organized by the Kogi State Emergency Management Agency, specifically warned against the scoping of fuel from falling tanker, noting that the act has caused more harm than good. And he says that it is very critical that the stakeholders need to strengthen the disaster management framework with a view to also enhancing a culture or to prepare and also to make sure that they prevent disaster across the community. And he says this program is to sensitize people, numerous efforts they are making to make sure that the National Emergency Management Agency address this menace of fuel tanker-related accident that has been ongoing for so many years.
Okay, interesting story. Moving now to the Punch. Food inflation, NSA, 36 states launch joint action. Israel threatens Ayatollah after Iran missiles wound 240. And Dangote blames crude shortage as imports from U.S. surge. Let's find some stories inside, as I said. Man jailed 76 years for child pornography and fraud. Lagos church fence collapse, kills bricklayer. Why we shot Agege abattoir, says Lagos State government. And 3 electricity cable thieves arrested in Niger.
I have a story on child pornography. A federal high court in Lagos State has now convicted and sentenced the man, Olukeye Adeayo Olalikon, to a total of 76 years imprisonment for child pornography, cyber stalking, money laundering, and fraud. Now, Justice Alexander Oweye on Thursday handed down the sentencing after finding him guilty of the offenses. Olalikon was arraigned on 18 counts, bordering on the distribution and procurement of child pornography, cyber stalking, retention and concealment of fraudulent funds, and obtaining property under false pretenses, preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. So he will now go on to serve his 76 years in prison. I hope that this same penalty also applies to people who distribute and spread and share child pornography videos. There's some Telegram groups where you would find things. I'm telling you, I don't know how you can sit and watch it. You're a pervert, and you're a menace to society. And this same sentence should be served to anybody who they find on their phone.
Yeah, that's so disgusting.
Terrible. That's terrible.
Okay, let's take one story for the break. So for those of us following the Israeli and Iran hostilities going on, so it escalated sharply yesterday on Thursday with Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz declaring that the continued existence of the Iran Supreme Leader Ayatollah poses a direct obstacle to Israel's national objectives. This development followed a fresh wave of Iranian missile attacks that left at least 240 people injured after striking a major hospital in southern Israel and residential buildings in Tel Aviv. Quoting Israel's defense minister, says the military has been instructed and knows that to achieve all the goals, this man, Ayatollah, absolutely should not continue to exist. In a further response, Israeli forces carried out fresh attacks on Iran's nuclear infrastructure, targeting Arak heavy water reactor. However, Iran has said that they were able to evacuate all the citizens there before the strike. Also happened, the Iranian television station also reported that the facility had been evacuated and also struck. The U.S., however, is very critical in this because everybody is waiting to see U.S.'s involvement. So Donald Trump has said, again, that he's going to make a decision within the next 2 weeks to see if they're going to have direct military strikes on Iran or not. So we're waiting for Trump to make a decision on that. But we sincerely hope that this will not start another war, because that's completely devastating. Even though it would affect us, but
in some way, it will
trickle down. Positively for crude and fuel. Yes, fuel price will go up, and that's beneficial to us. But somehow, indirectly, it might affect us in some way.
Mentally and emotionally.
Yes. Let's go on a very short break now. When we come back, we continue with our review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.